Okay, this is the Sunday drive from my exercise bike. I'm going to talk about music. And mainly, I'm talking about music because the sermon was about music today, and it was going to church, like the service I go to, it's always very ingrained in music, singing, dancing, listening, all of that, just appreciating that sound. And, it music is so ingrained in my life. I'm always listening to it, whether I'm driving, I'm exercising, I'm writing, I'm reading. I've always got music on, and sometimes it's just as background music just to help me along. And oh, sometimes it's more than that. Sometimes, music sets the scene either in my life or in when I'm reading or writing, and you just feel like, oh, this fits perfectly. And you ever get a song that you hear and it just gives you goosebumps because you're like, oh my gosh, this is me. This is my song. This is my life. This is about my life. And I'm not just talking about the lyrics speak to you, although that's part of it, but also the music itself, the entirety of that song, that sound. It's you. It fits you. It fits into your soul perfectly, and that's just your soul song, your spirit's song, and it's the your soundtrack. And I've been thinking a lot about that lately, and it's funny because lately I've been shutting myself up in my room and listening to my Enrique Iglesias station or my Shakira station, and half the songs are in Spanish and half are in English. But I've just been listening to them, and sometimes I'll be dancing or just moving to it, and I just love that music, and just it uplifts me. And the words are almost secondary sometimes to the movement of the music, just kind of being that sort of uplifting, almost spiritual. It's just this connection is made into me, and I just can't help but just go with it. And other times I hear a song on the radio, and I just get chills because of how I connect with the music. Just thinking of the story behind it, and just connecting it with my life or with friends of mine or people I know or stories I know. It's just sort of words sometimes, like right now, sometimes words can't explain it. And I think that's kind of why I'm having trouble with this right now, because words can't explain, my full thoughts on this subject. And whereas music can. And so I've been kind of thinking about, songs that speak to me, and sort of songs that about me, or my theme songs, so to speak, my soundtrack. And that's sort of what we talked about at church today. And it was so beautiful at church, hearing this 180 voice choir singing, and their voices, perfectly in sync. And it's just radiating all around the room and echoing, and everyone is just blown away by this sound and this beauty around them. And it's nothing they can see. It's heard, but it's more than that. It's felt deep within them, deep within me. And sometimes you have experiences like that, and you can't explain them. And I think that's where music comes in, because music, it takes over when words fail. Me speaking or me writing, even though I love writing, it fails. And I think music is that, it takes us to that extra level. There's no limits to music, and it's a language that everyone understands. As I said, I listen to music in Spanish, but it's a language that I understand. I don't know Spanish that well, but the music is just, to me, it's very beautiful, in a different way, and I love it. So I was just thinking about music that fits in my life, music that speaks to me, and what would be my theme song. So basically today I'm doing this thing where I'm just trying to find my own theme song through my life, or theme songs, plural. I mean, depending on what I find. Because I'm sure there's something out there that is just me, that just explains me more than I could explain myself, if that makes sense. So I know that was kind of jumbled, and I know it's really hard to explain this subject a lot for me because there are a lot of subjects that you just can't explain the spiritual sometimes. It just has to be felt, and it's beyond words. So, and to me, music is a very spiritual thing. So that's basically all I have to say about that for now. So, just these songs that I have listed, look at them, read at the lyrics, and then look them up and listen and see, you know, how they would fit in, or find your own, music, your own theme song, your own soundtrack. Find music that uplifts your spirit or explains your spirit better than you can with words.